everybody, and welcome to the Spartan Sports Report. Another season, Sam, program one of this new season.
It's great, and great to have Brent here with us, but what's really great is having you back alongside. We sure missed you the latter portion of the season last year, and glad you're back in the captain's seat there.
Thank you very much. I mean, speak of missing, I mean, you fellows have no idea how much I missed you.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
Because a great thing to do, and Brent, you're always great and full of knowledge, and so begin.
I don't know which one we get, but I'm just happy to have you back because Sam Kid said he couldn't do anything besides basketball without you.
No, Sam did a great job, and you helped him.
Well, it's about the kids. Just get them out there. So
True. Right.
It's obviously great to have you back because you have all the questions. So.
The seasons are well underway. The fall seasons in high school sports, aren't they?
Yeah, it's hard to think that actually girls golf is probably within 2 or 3 weeks of being in their sectional already.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously we have our first home varsity football game come Friday night.
Right.
Tennis has already had an invitational, and golf's already have an invitational. Soccer's got a match tonight with the boys, and the girls are on the road. Here we go.
The teams are doing pretty well, aren't they, Spartans?
Yeah, overall we've done well. Volleyball's gone off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the first time in a long time we've been 2-0 in the conference. And, they had a tough match with New Pal. New Pal's solid, but
Sure.
beat us 3-1. And in the past that hadn't happened. There'd been a lot of 3-0s on us. So good promise and fairly young. We have 4 or 5 seniors there, but a lot of young kids playing as well.
Mm-hmm. Off to a good start, and that's always good to begin the new season.
Yeah, we have some teams that are struggling a little bit with numbers, and it'd be nice. Running's kind of gone through a wave of not a lot of participants right now, so we're always looking for anybody who wants to run cross country, especially on the girls' side. So, we might entertain how much we might let them come out and work out if they're still interested. So.
Sure. First football game is behind us. Richmond entertained the Spartans, and a high-scoring game, wasn't it?
Yeah, 48-34, if I remember correctly. Up and down the field a little bit.
Sam, you had a ringside seat. What's your opinion?
Well, we started out tough.
Mm-hmm.
We were tied at halftime. We're right in this game, but third quarter, Richmond made some adjustments and came out and were able to take the lead away from us, and we were never able to get it back. But I did like a lot of our play. I was keeping, I don't remember now, I was keeping track of first downs, and we had a lot more. We were moving the football.
Yes.
Richmond was getting the big plays. They weren't getting the first downs, but I think something to build on. You never know. They'd gone to South Dearborn the week before for a scrimmage, but it's hard to tell much from those. So This was a real game against a real opponent, and against a very athletic team. Going in, of course, you hear all these stories that Richmond's numbers were down and all that. Well, they probably had 60 kids on the sideline, so their numbers aren't down. So a little bit of turmoil on the coaching staff, but assistant coach took over and did a good job for the Red Devils. And just unfortunately, Spartans ended up on the short end of the stick in a game that lasted over 3 hours. But with our style of play, we're going to have games that last that long if we continue to pass the ball, which I think we probably will. We'll see what Coach Jackson has in store for this weekend. But I think that there's an opportunity for us to win several games.
Yes.
This year.
Brent, a real learning experience in your opinion from?
Yeah, I mean, we graduated a lot of linemen last year, so we're not as big as we were last year.
Yes.
And we obviously had some key injuries to people that are going to probably be out for the season with unfortunate things that happened during the summer or whatever. And that hurts us. We had a couple of kids that didn't come back out, and some of them are medically reasons why. And so it is an eye-opener. And it's a different offense. We're not running it every time like we did last year. Everybody, you can hear people groaning, why aren't we throwing the ball? Why aren't we throwing the ball last year? Because we were pounding and running it. And this year we're going to throw it a little bit more. But like I said, a couple of our people we thought we were going to throw it to sitting on the sideline with crutches on. So, that makes a difference. You got a 6'3", 6'4" receiver out there that has a little bit of speed and can do those things. But we'll get there. It's just a matter of time.
Sure.
It's just hard when you got kids who played last year that didn't come out this year for whatever reason. Then they talk to you in the hallway today and they say, well, I think I miss it now that I didn't go. Well, obviously we tried to tell you that when you didn't come out. So hopefully they'll get it back together and come back out next year, and we'll get the kids back out that need to be out there playing again.
Last season was most unusual in so many ways, wasn't it?
More than you can count, so we're hoping that this year doesn't get there. But,
Yes.
you know, as today, we're supposed to have Anderson in volleyball, and we are not having Anderson in volleyball tonight because they're quarantined. I got the call last night at about 8:30 last night, so it's still there. You just don't know what it's going to come the next day when you come to school. So currently, we're open to everybody come in, but, you know, new rules might come out Wednesday, and
That's right.
by Friday it could change again. So, but yeah, definitely, and I hope it's an anomaly for all of our kids and us. You know, definitely not something we want to live through again, in lots of ways. So,
We have some highlights from the game with Richmond and the Spartans, so let's watch those right now.
nice and warm.
It was warm, beautiful night.
Yeah, it was.
But nice facility up there. Their field's just beautiful, that artificial turf. But I walked across that, and it was extremely hot. The heat coming off.
Yeah, AstroTurf, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. You know, they have a lot more speed than we do. So if we can't, we don't contain people, then their speed. And they've had a couple great bounces, and we didn't pick them up, and they led to scores for them.
Yeah, just like that one. Yeah.
Is that field next to the gym?
Yeah,
Just on
is
the
it?
east side.
Press box is
I
right
forgot
up
where the
against
lights
the
were.
Tiernan Center. Yeah. So Spartans hung tough there and able to tie it up at halftime.
I thought the kids.
Nice run in and but then third quarter, I don't know what adjustments Richmond did, but things certainly turned in the third quarter.
Well, we missed some tackles, and it didn't seem like our backside people were where they needed to be, and we got some cutbacks against us. But you know, there was a lot of talk last year about why kids aren't playing both ways, and I hope you understand why we play one way if we can, because you know we have a lot of kids cramping. You got kids playing both ways more often now, and you're tired. I mean, it's different when you're only playing half the ball and you come out fresh. Now you got kids flipping and flopping back and forth, and yeah, you may not be getting hit on every time, but you're still going to get out there and you got to play. And
that was a nice move right there. I called that the Texas two-step when
Braden did a good job. So many kids don't ever look back to see what's coming, and he saw the kid have the angle, knew his speed, and just gave him a little slow down, let him run by him.
But there again, Richmond able to bust through the line and take it in again. And that one really hurt, I thought. Hurt us.
Yeah, we just got right back into it and gave it right back up pretty almost in the
changed the momentum right back to them. There was that point.
And Carter did a good job here. Hit her and keeping his feet live and got through. And Gavin throws a nice ball.
Yes, it does.
Understands when to get down, when to throw, when to get rid of it. I think we'll be all right in the long run. It's going to take some adjustments.
Yeah, the kids kept working at it. Never gave up, but just Richmond just too quick, especially in that second half.
Allen did a good job of turning up and finding the seam to get through. And that's a good thing. They never gave up. They didn't battle. They didn't quit battling. You know, that's what you want. Obviously, you can see if you see the TV, their linemen are a little bit larger than our linemen. And if you play both ways, that eventually wears on you.
This Richmond, the only team that we play this year that would be in our sectional.
Correct.
But a lot can change. This week one, a lot can change come week 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a new year, new things, new kids, and some of them have never been battle tested before, so get a chance to see what they can do out on the field. So
Richmond and the Spartans last Friday night at Richmond, and a lot of good plays, I thought.
Yeah, I think so.
First
And things
game.
that hopefully they can learn from this week, because it doesn't get any easier, even though it's a home game. When Franklin County comes in, that's a pretty good rivalry in itself.
Brent, what's the ticket situation for this Friday?
Well, currently we're just selling them at the gate, so $5 to get in. We'll open the gates about 6. Hopefully we'll have a great crowd. It's been a while since we've been able to have a good crowd at the Spartan Field, and you know, it's the water keg game, and we like to take the little thing if we can get it back from Franklin County. We'd like to have it in our possession. But, you know, after Friday night, we'll figure out what the kids put out on the field and how well they adjust and see what happens.
First of 5 home games for the Spartans?
Correct.
Okay. You have a new one on the schedule from Kentucky?
Yeah, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but Jennings County's conference rearranged, and so we were supposed to play them at least one more year on week 6, and we couldn't. So Simon Kenton just across the line, and Coach says they'll be probably similar to a Lawrenceburg style and size, and we'll see. Don't know till you play them. So they're coming here for our first year. And
will that be home and home?
We're going back to them at least for the next year, and then we'll see if we want to keep it for
really
2 years.
Probably faster to get to Simon Kenton High School than it is to Jennings County High School.
Definitely faster than Huntington North.
Yes, sir.
So, but it'd be, I mean, different. I don't know that we've ever played a school from Kentucky. As far as I know, I've been here for 30-some years, and I've never ventured outside the state. And
Fran's the one's been around here.
No,
yeah,
I don't think we've ever played a
we
Kentucky
played.
school.
I remember playing Ohio schools.
Well, it's just hard with our schedule because week 6 typically everybody's in a conference match, and we're not. And we've been trying to get Franklin County moved to that week if we can, but it just takes a lot of schedule maneuvering, and not everybody's willing to maneuver those schedules as quickly. So we'll see. It's the only other option was Cathedral High School, and didn't really want to play Cathedral.
Yeah, I think Simon Kenton's a good pickup, and doesn't hurt anything. Gives our kids some exposure in the Cincinnati TV market, and
we'll see what happens. I mean, don't know till you play them. So
should be an interesting season, I think.
I hope so. I hope it's well attended. And I think
Yes.
I think for our kids, it's good to have people that come out and watch. I mean, they went through a long year last year with hardly anybody in the stands but their families, and their friends weren't there, and the student body wasn't there. And
we had a good crowd at Richmond.
we did, and we had a decent student following, and hopefully that'll be greater this coming Friday night at home. So I think all of our kids that are in sports and clubs and drama and plays, you know, just didn't have an opportunity to have what is normal last year.
Football, it's just not the football kids, it's the band kids too, get to perform and put on their show, and
We'll have a little cheerleader night out there on Friday night, and so it's a good time.
Junior varsity football with Richmond?
Tonight at 6.
Okay.
If everything goes well. So
Oh, I hope so.
is that here or up there?
that's here. Mr. Liggett hopefully will have that thing under control. I'm going to take care of boys soccer with Franklin County tonight, and hopefully we'll come home with 2 wins. You know, it'll be the same thing with the JV team if you can't contain their speed. You know, and we're young. I mean, that'll be kids that haven't got a lot of experience, a lot of playing time, a lot of younger kids.
So some of the kids that would be playing varsity, they're able to play.
Now, if you
JV.
play so many quarters in the varsity, you can't come down.
Okay.
So it'll be mostly kids who didn't get their 4 quarters in. And typically, if you play 3 in the varsity, you don't usually get any time down on the JV team. So they have those little rules that you have to follow in the guidelines. So
Are we having freshman football?
we do not have enough. Our incoming freshman class actually has more kids playing football now than they've had through the whole middle school. So it's been a small class of kids since they've been in the 2nd grade. Now, hopefully next year we have 20-some kids, hopefully at the middle school playing 8th grade, and we can keep them as freshmen if we can, and maybe we can have a freshman season next year. So, but I don't think we sit alone in that boat. So there's a lot of schools that don't have, and it's not just common here. I think it's a theme across the state. So
I think so. I agree.
Do you think the popularity of soccer maybe has changed
I
that a
think
little
soccer's changed. There's some schools that need to have club lacrosse sports. So there's some club volleyball teams. So I think the publicity of concussions through the NFL didn't help, although you can get just as many concussions in soccer. And
bit? Yeah, with no helmet.
girls basketball or boys basketball, you can fall down and hit your head walking down the street. And
Exactly.
so it's all over the place. I don't know that's any more prevalent in football than it is anyplace else, but you know, the talk was out there. So, but I hope it comes back, and I hope it sustains itself. So
Tuesday this week, volleyball is home with Greenfield Central, And volleyball is in the field house?
Volleyball's in the field house, nice and air conditioning.
Okay.
So come out and watch the ladies play. We're unfortunate not be able to play tonight. It'd been nice to play in it. And they've gotten off a good start. You know, they beat
Yes.
Lawrenceburg 3-1, and then beat Franklin County on Saturday 3 sets to 0. So the JV team won.
Doing well.
That's a good start for us. Let's hope we can continue.
Couple conference wins there.
Yeah, I don't know the last time we started out 2-0 in the conference. You know, Lawrenceburg's been typically very, very solid, and Franklin County's had some really good squads. So it's a good experience for the kids, and hopefully we can keep that on the road. Greenfield will come in with a good team as they always have, so we'll see how it goes on Tuesday.
The boys soccer goes to Greenfield Central Tuesday night.
Yeah, you just never know. They're young, very young. I think we have
And
we have one senior, 4 juniors, the
They
rest are
had
freshmen and sophomores.
seniors just left en masse, didn't they?
Yeah, we had like 12 of them last year, so we only have one this year, Dylan Thomas, and then 4 juniors, and the rest of them are freshmen
Yes.
and sophomores. So it'll be could be a trying time, could be a learning season, but you know,
Mike Bottomley still at the helm.
Mike is still at the helm, and John Reynolds is still
Okay,
helping, and
a
Andrew
good pair,
Andrew
yeah.
Stein helps them.
They've had great success.
They've done well. So
Yes, they have. Yes,
we'll
they have.
see.
Well, I'm sure the soccer team will bring home some wins, quite a few.
They do a good job, so hopefully I know it's going to be different with a lot of young kids playing, so hopefully
Sure.
they gain a lot of valuable
Yeah.
experience. And if it doesn't pay off this year, then you look for it to pay off down the road. So
Who's in the mix for tournament time? I know that's down the road here a little bit, though, with the soccer teams.
well, the boys are different than the girls. The boys are with East Central and Mount Vernon and then Greenfield.
Different classes, isn't it? Or it was, am I wrong about
They're in 3A and girls are in 2A because there's not as many girls soccer teams. So they're down with South Dearborn and Lawrenceburg. And Coach Liggett would rather be in 3A because he said it's easier in 3A than with Lawrenceburg and South Dearborn. So we'll see. But South Dearborn's even down. They can't even play a full JV game in girls soccer, and that's not been typical of them. They've actually had so many girls. Sometimes they've asked if they play on their JV boys team just to get enough playing time with some of them. So.
Girls golf will be at Rushville on Tuesday night, so
They're young. I don't want to say they're young, but they're doing better. And struggled a little bit this weekend at our place. I think the heat in the hills got them on Saturday, so I don't think they're the only ones in that boat. There were a lot of them that were complaining about the heat come Saturday.
yes.
That wears on them walking up. A lot of schools like Noblesville and those that come down play on those flat lands, and you've got to come down there in the heat and walk the hills. And they weren't real happy. Noblesville's girls shot really well though, and I was talking to the little girl from Batesville, shot her worst round in high school golf ever at our place,
Really?
and it was a 78. That was our highest score ever, according to Coach Meyer.
You
So
take a 78?
any day of the week, I'd take a 78 and go home happy. So
And Wednesday this week, the tennis is home with Richmond.
tennis golf's a good start this year. They won their invitational Saturday, beat Hagerstown, and then beat Madison Grant in the finals. And
Good.
Madison Grant was 16-6 last year, and they're kind of rebuilding. They had 6 or 7 seniors go away, so. But we lost some seniors too, so we got a new number 1, and I think pretty much every lineup spot's a little bit different than what we had last year. So.
But you have a coach who has a little bit of tennis experience at CHS.
Chris has done a good job.
Chris
And,
Bloom.
We also started a middle school tennis club this year, so we got some middle school matches going on, and that I think in the long run that will pay off.
Oh, I'm sure it
in the
will.
end, with kids who are getting to put a racket in their hand before they're freshmen in high school.
On Thursday, the golf is home with Centerville and Randolph Southern. It should be interesting.
Yeah, you hope you plan on your course, and for them it's just how much did they get out and play over the summertime. So hopefully that'll.
And the volleyball will be at Greensburg on Thursday night, and tennis at Cambridge City Lincoln. So
Busy week.
Hmm?
Busy week.
Absolutely.
They don't get any less busy until about October.
On Friday night, the football, Spartans and Franklin County will be at it. And, as you say, it's time for a Spartan win. I
It'd
mean,
be nice. I'm trying to think back. We probably had the water keg 3 or 4 years ago, but it's been a little bit of time. So.
sure, we need it back.
Time to put it in our trophy case for
Right,
at
right.
least a year and
Right.
put our name on the first side of
What
it.
do you know about Franklin County?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Other than football's been one of their main,
A big zebra, huh?
football's been a big sport for them over the years, so I'm sure they're going to come out and hit you hard. And without playing last year because of we being COVIDed out, so who knows what that incentive might be
Sure.
down on
Yeah.
either side. So
Hopefully, we won't see cramping like we saw Friday
I'm
night's
hoping they're
gonna be hot
hydrating.
again.
I'm hoping
but
they're hydrating now, not
Yeah.
the day before. So
What is the weather forecast for this week?
about like today.
Hot
I
all
think.
week, 90s all week.
Well, this is one time I hope the weatherman is wrong, but it probably won't
You can be wrong 75% of the time and still be okay on the TV.
Yeah.
So.
As long as we don't have thunder and lightning on game
No,
night.
that's
true.
what we don't like.
That's
No thunder and lightning.
can be a disaster.
That's unfortunate. We lost our girls' soccer match with Richmond last week because we got lightninged out on. So we're trying to make that date up. Looking at October 2nd right now, which is not good because that's the Saturday before sectional. But between their schedule and our schedule, that's about the only date we can find that works.
And Thursday this week, or Friday of this week, volleyball will be at Batesville. The cross country will be at Rushville. Cross country meet of some kind? Or?
Yeah, Rushville has a huge invitational, so
Okay.
they'll be over there on Saturday morning, and the girls will take on the Bulldogs on Saturday, and hopefully we'll have 2 more conference wins there this week. Now, I know Greensburg's got a couple really tall girls, so
Yeah.
it'll be a little challenge for us at that,
When you say tall, you're talking about 6 feet?
I think she was a freshman here. She's about 6'2" or 6'3", I think, so.
Likely we'll see her in basketball. Now.
I don't know if she played or not. I can't remember. She did. She's a big lefty.
You can't
if I
teach
remember right.
6'3".
No, and I heard we had a 6'1" 7th grader, so
We do?
girl.
Good.
And Saturday, it's Union County at Connorsville for a couple of games. 1 boy, 1 girl.
We're going to their place.
Oh, okay.
And then our JV team's going to go to Bishop Chatard and play. The JV
okay.
teams are going to go. So we're going to Union County. Everything for us on Saturday is on the road, so it's unusual not to have a home event.
Yes, it is. Right.
That just means the year after they'll all be back at us and be busy.
How many new coaches do you have this fall?
Well, we just hired a new wrestling coach, Colton Gonzalez. So he's going
Okay.
to meet the kids tomorrow, and pretty much we stayed the same.
Doesn't seem like he's been gone too long.
No, he's out of college, and it's hard to think that, but
Yeah.
unfortunately we lost our coaches last year, and then Justin daughter is a 6th grader or 7th grader down in the Franklin County school system, and he lives down there, and she wants to start wrestling, and he didn't want to wrestle up here, and her being down there, so he's going to be a dad and go down there and be with her, and so
It's understandable.
other than that we've stayed fairly consistent. So
Getting back to the health problems, what happens that will cause a schedule problem?
hopefully nothing
But
other than
is it-
COVID.
if a youngster comes down, one of the players comes
I think it
down?
just depends on the school. Every school's got a different way to interpret.
Oh, okay.
So some schools still if one kid on the team is positive, then they're quarantining the team, and then some are just having them. Hey, this kid
So
has been
no set-
exposed. Monitor your symptoms. And
Health department doesn't dictate.
every county can be different, so we might find out something different come Wednesday
Okay.
when it's Dr. White's day to make his announcements about. And it might depend on what the county does. Are we orange? Are we yellow? So that'll
Yes.
have a bearing on where we're
Okay.
at in the future as well.
I know Union County this week in football had several players out, and it showed in their final score, but hopefully it doesn't
Hopefully it doesn't
happen.
bite us, and hopefully we can continue on and have everybody in the crowd. And I know as myself, I missed having the fans in the crowd just for the atmosphere.
Sure, absolutely.
I know the kids did. I mean, they don't mind playing in front of their families, but they sure like it when their buddies are there.
Yeah. All sports tickets, do you still have those available? Or are you
Currently,
selling those?
yes, they're on sale at the athletic office, so you can stop by, and Katrina will take care of you. And we have a new athletic secretary since your daughter-in-law is no longer working for me because she's staying home mom right now.
Well, yeah.
Which you can't blame
That's a
her.
good
So
thing,
it's
too.
a good job to take care of Claire since Cooper's in high school. So
Yeah.
It's a very
So
good
your new secretary is?
Katrina Harris. She had 2 kids that came through school.
It's a real bargain. All sports tickets. What's it boil down to? About 50 cents a game or
Depends
something.
on how many you want. If you ask Curtis Dalton, it's probably about 7 cents a ticket because he goes to about everything there is out there. So
It's a
$60 for adults and $55 for
Yeah, it's-
seniors and $40 for kids.
Can't beat
and
that, can you? I mean,
then we have a family pass at $200 based on how many people are in your family. So I think it's a deal, but I don't think there's anything better to watch than high school sports.
sure, it's a good program.
And in years past, the they get if you have
Well,
all sports for tournaments, you get preference if
Yeah,
there's
they'll get preferential treatment. First choice at tickets when it gets down to sectional time. There's only a couple times, they're not really good for the Spartan Classic. It says they're not good for. And then when we have the big 8 basketball games in one day at the Bowl on December 23rd, they won't be able to use those in that event. They'll have to buy a ticket at the gate. So other than that, we try to let them in with it. So
In the conference, Franklin County 44, Newcastle 28. Rushville lost 18-0 in their game. Batesville lost 35-13 to Indian Creek, which was a surprise, I thought. But
they're pretty solid in football.
Are they? And East Central over Lawrenceburg, 34-6. So
Lawrenceburg's pretty good too.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. So what does that
pretty good cross-county rivalry there.
They were young last year, I thought. Lawrenceburg was.
And then the other conference team that played was South Dearborn, and they won over Seymour in their game. So this is a conference game Monday, or coming up
First
Friday.
one of the season. They're on our half, so if you like those half things, which I don't, but I can't convince them we should all be in one big group yet.
Yeah, I think we ought to all be in one big
Well, I
group
don't
because
disagree.
to me it's a pretty good football conference, and
Yeah.
it'd sure be nice to. Of course, there's one big school that likes to play others other than just conference games.
No comment.
Mentioning no names, but it's the one big school.
Depends on who you ask who the big school is.
You have to have a big school.
Big schools can be different based on what sport you're playing too.
I'm talking about enrollment.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice if we all played. I mean, we play all of them. It'd be nice if they all counted in the conference for a game, for a true conference winner, just one, and not a big division and a little division winner.
Because when it's when there's only 4 in a division,
It's kind of like the old AAC when there was only 4 schools still playing them. So
Is that ever brought up at your meetings?
many times.
And it doesn't go very far?
No.
I guess we should be grateful that we have.
Well, we lived in a long time.
We without being in one
it
for
was
a while.
bad for our kids.
Yes.
Nothing to truly play for during the season. No game was more important than any other game, and not saying they are, but when it's a conference opponent, when it's not.
Ever any talk of expanding the conference? I know I've heard
There was
probably some other schools might like in, but
There's a couple of schools that have inquired. I know Jennings County a little bit, Madison both have inquired. So just that scary thought of going to 10, because we've been in a 10-team conference. It didn't last very long.
then yeah, that was
All of a sudden there's factions, and then they start picking up with 2 or 3 here and making their own conferences, and then you're out on the edge again. And for us, unfortunately, we are on the edge. We're picking slim about what conferences we fit in on this side of the state. So
yeah, the one we're in and
the North Central's about it, and
North
HHC.
Central and HHC.
So
And North Central, that's
it's a
not.
long drive.
Yeah, if you got to go to Lafayette a couple times, that's.
HHC's, bad, but they're in places that they're growing. And we're not growing right now, so their numbers are getting bigger, and ours are, if anything, declined a little bit. So.
I'd talked to people in Richmond that some of them would like out of the NCC. If I lived in Richmond, I wouldn't think that I would for the just for the tradition of that conference. I mean, it used to be the premier conference in the state. But,
Yes.
I've talked to a few people up there, kind of like the EIAC, but.
To see what kind of fit they might be in every program. So
That's all hypothetical stuff.
might be past my time.
Well, football this Friday with Spartans will be taking on Rushville, or the Brookville Greyhound. Boy, is that old, huh? The Brookville guys, and as you say, it's time for the Spartans to get a win. We'll see.
It'd be nice and get out to watch all of our kids come out to watch any of those sports. All of our kids would love to have you out there cheering them on.
Thanks, Brent, for joining us tonight on the program.
Appreciate you asking me.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report.